Hello, my name is Joe Hogan. I'm an entrepreneur in the mobile industry. Since their introduction 6 years ago, smartphones are by far and away the most disruptive and successful product in recent history. Very little comes close. The iPhone is a bigger business than Microsoft. So just think about that for a moment. A single product that didn't exist 6 years ago is bigger than a 30-year-old company, which until a few short years earlier was the uncontested and unstoppable giant of the technology space. I'm fortunate to have a front row seat in this transformation in my role as the Chief Technology Officer over the last 15 years of a telecommunications software company that builds software for the insides of mobile networks. I've met with hundreds of mobile operators worldwide to speak with their technology groups about their challenges and their opportunities. And what has remained as a consistent thread in these discussions is that no matter whether I'm speaking with a huge operator with 100 or several hundred million subscribers, or a smaller operator with a few 100,000, they are all chasing the same elusive genie of accurately predicting data services over the next iPhone lifetime, over the next 6 years. Analysts tell us that the number of mobile phones in the world will exceed the human population by the end of next year. And we also see from Mobile First Research that during January, for every 24-hour period, there were more iPhones sold in the world than there were babies born. Today, the United Nations tells us that there are more people with mobile phones than those with access to toilets. Other research out of Asia is suggesting that there are more people who own a mobile phone than own a toothbrush. And it's not hard to understand why. This technology has brought us together like nothing else. Instantly, we can be face-to-face with someone across town or across the world. The amazing story of mobile data has had many positive impacts which have transformed societies and which have transformed industries like journalism and communities like those in the developing world who rely on text messaging to receive their grant aid and sell their products to market. Smartphones are not always just always on, they're always on us, they're always on our person. And they are to varying degrees our news source, our calendar, our camera, our social media, our game machine, and our email device, our television, jukebox, our map, and of course, they're also our babysitter. So we also see that mobile technology, in particular smartphones, are the remote control for our digital lives, where with one button press, I've just paid for parking. With another, I've just ordered a taxi. And so we're also seeing smartphones emerge as the hub of a body area network where new sensors we're wearing are reporting our activity and sleep patterns and our heart rate so that we can more closely monitor our health and, thereby leading to exercise. And from the traffic observations that we're making deep within mobile networks, we can see that smartphone users are keeping up with the cosmetic side of the mobile revolution by regularly upgrading their smartphones. But their adoption of new data services is not advancing at the same rate. Rather than embracing new applications and technologies, people tend to settle into using the same applications over an extended period of time. So what we see is we already know that our physical lives are improved by a more developed digital life. So it's important to maintain your digital fitness and explore new applications rather than be left behind when the digital herd within society moves on. And so there are also positive or unexpected impacts to society as well. Mobile phones are addictive, and people are addicted to checking their mobile phones. And a new Facebook update, email, or text message excites the exact same reward-seeking areas of the brain that are triggered when you win a small amount on a lottery scratch card. And while I say that, almost every one of you is now wondering, do I have a new Facebook update, email, or text message? Or have I missed a call? And the vast majority are going to check as soon as we leave the auditorium. And so this addiction has got to such a serious level in society that we now check our smartphones 150 times a day, in many cases knowing in advance that there is no new date on that phone. But we go ahead and check it anyway. And it's from our systems within the networks that we can see this compulsive email checking, which is exactly the same as the compulsive pulling of a lever on a slot machine. And so with all of that said, we are just at the beginning of a revolution in connectedness, which will have increasingly important and unexpected impacts on society. Technology is advancing so quickly that beyond the relative near term, which I personally believe to be 18 to 24 months, no one knows what data services will actually look like. But we do know that they'll continue to change rapidly and unexpectedly. And there's a new dimension beginning to emerge for data services. The most polished guesswork by analyst groups is suggesting that there are 16 billion devices connected to the internet today, of which about 1.4 billion are smartphones. But this is expected to reach a massive 50 billion devices by the end of 2020, as everyday items connect onto the internet, creating an Internet of Things. And it's already starting to happen, where unexpected new services and new technologies are beginning to emerge, some of which I'm involved with, like connected cars, where the cars not only report diagnostics data directly to service centers, but they're also leading auto manufacturers to consider entering completely new businesses where they supply data services directly to drivers for navigation and for family entertainment. And no one predicted these services just a decade ago. The fact of the matter, and the one thing that we can't escape, is that no matter how hard we try, we have a really poor record at long-term technology prediction, which the complete lack of my jet boots and nuclear-powered car would attest. The reality is that society will, in general, find the most positive and useful aspects of a new technology and magnify them. And so as a new, broader societal adaptation begins to emerge for a new data service, this in turn will drive a new cycle in innovation in communication networks. And this interdependency between society and communication networks continues in a dance until and leading to shorter and shorter and shorter adaptation timeframes for new data services as they emerge. So it's been said that mobile communications is the oil of the 21st century. And as we look forward to a future of ubiquitous connectivity, where we should expect it to affect every aspect of our lives, and we'll become quite reliant on it in ways that we can only begin to imagine. But there will be a more connected life beyond the smartphone. However, even when in a world with 100 billion connected devices, it's easy to predict that the one thing that will remain important to us is our connection to each other. Thank you very much.